I currently... Why can't I say that? Nope. Academic year. Nope. Hey guys, I hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas and a happy new year, and welcome to my first study vlog. So I posed a question over on Instagram as to what people might like to see in the new year, and it seemed like people were really keen to get some study advice. And with this, I thought I'd introduce myself. I am Kelsey, and I'm currently a postgraduate student at the University of Cambridge. I study Egyptology, and then before this, I studied classics at the University of Warwick at undergrad level. So up to this point, I've gained about, well, nearly 4 years of university revision. And then before that, there was obviously A-level. So from this torturous experience, I thought I would try and help people out as much as I can and show them a little bit how I did it. Obviously, right now as well, university students are going through a lot. I originally planned to be going back to university on the 28th of December, and now, as you can see, I am still at home. And we won't be returning until at least the 25th of January, which means I've had to try and find some new ways to study at home and cope with that. Alongside with coping with the general stress of everything right now, with all the uncertainty, it's really, really difficult to stay focused on the work you're trying to do. So, without further ado, here are my tips to try and combat that and get used to studying at home and during a pandemic. First of all, I would say your main step is to find a study space. This can obviously be versatile. Up until this year, I didn't have a desk in my room at home because I was away at university most of the time when I was doing my studying and didn't need one at home. So, as you can see here, we've tried to make a makeshift desk out of one of my built-in wardrobes. I have to thank my mum for that. She did a really amazing job. But if you're not as fortunate enough to have that or the possibility of doing that, then there's a lot of other solutions. A lot of the time I would sit on the floor, I would make a little bit of a den that was as comfortable as possible, that I could stay there for a couple of hours at a time and work. Another option is if you have a family dining table or a kitchen table, you can try and work on that and just work out hours with your family in which they can leave you alone for a bit so you can get a couple of hours of work done. Or again, you can just sit on your family sofa as best as possible. And I know it's not ideal, but if you really just plug your headphones in and try and concentrate, you'll at least get something done. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to be performing our best at the minute, and that's okay. It's just trying to get as much done as you can and in the best way possible. The main thing I would say when you're trying to find a study space is avoid your bed. I have fallen victim to this many a time. When I was doing my A-levels, obviously your bed is ridiculously comfy, so I managed to convince myself that I would do my best work sitting in bed because I was comfortable, so I could stay there for hours. But then it would get to the evening and my brain had made the connection between the work I was doing and bed and therefore sleep. So I did not sleep very well for a long time because my brain naturally went to that work mode because I was lying in the bed. It thought, you're in bed, so you should be doing work. So please just avoid that at all costs. Anywhere else will be better. Just get creative, get comfy and set in. So tip number 2, I would just take time out to sit down on your computer and go on your notes, and then what you want to do is just make a general master list of all the stuff that you need to get done during the holidays, so it's something that you can refer back to and think, okay, this is the next project I need to start, I need to make sure I get this done by a certain time. And then after this, each morning or the night before each day, I would make a handwritten list of all the stuff that you want to achieve on that day. And the key here is to be realistic, because if you set this huge list of all the things that you want to achieve, you're not going to do it. And then it's really disappointing and kind of puts yourself on the back foot for the next day because you're already demotivated and feel like you can't achieve anything anymore. There's too much to do. Whereas if you set a smaller list and you do manage to do it and you have more time, you can always add more, and then you feel accomplished even though you're managing to do the same amount of work. And it's just little tricks like that that kind of get your brain to perform in a certain way. Another tip that I would kind of add on top of that is that if you're finding that you're really, really struggling to get motivated, within that list, add a separate category of stuff that you want to get done, but is fun stuff. So like baking, having a nice bath, watching a film with your family, and then that's still stuff that you want to get done and need to get done, because if you're not giving yourself the regular breaks, then you're not going to be able to do the actual schoolwork. And then you can tick this off throughout the day as you go, and it really keeps you motivated and reminds your brain to rest. It reminds it of when you are in work mode and when you're in relaxation mode, but you still feel like you're getting stuff done in that relaxation mode. Again, you're just tricking your brain into thinking that it's being really productive, and by tricking it, it makes it productive. Tip number 3. If you're still really finding that you're struggling to get the motivation or to finally start work, try and combine it with something that you really want to do. So what I'll do is that if I know there's a new song or album that's come out that I really want to listen to, or just make a playlist of all the songs that you really, really enjoy listening to, then you can start doing that whilst you're working. So your brain is still thinking you're having fun, you're enjoying listening to whatever songs you're choosing, but you're still getting the work done. Even if you necessarily can't do this with more intense work like essay writing because it might be distracting, you can still get the kind of menial tasks done that still need to get done. So you're accomplishing what you need to do, but you're just tricking your brain into doing it and having fun whilst doing it. Tip number 4 is quite similar to tip number 3 in the fact that if you're still really, really struggling to get motivated, again, just find a task that doesn't involve a lot of active thought or concentration, and just turn Netflix on, sit in front of the TV and just try and get it done. And you're going to feel so much better, even if you've just managed to tick that one thing off the list. Even just sit with your friends and family and do it if you can, and then you can distract yourself occasionally with conversation. I find this really works when I'm doing an ancient language obviously at the moment with Egyptology, and when I'm trying to learn the vocab, I will use it almost as a break to just sit in front of the TV whilst learning that vocab. And it works really well, and you still get it done, but you don't feel drained after. And occasionally as well, you feel more productive afterwards and can go and get some more intense work done. Finally, tip number 5. If you've gone through all of these steps and you still can't do it, don't do it. It is a sign. Your brain is telling you you need to relax. And that's completely justified. You've probably done a lot of work during term, and if you haven't, you're in the middle of a pandemic. It's tiring to just get up each morning. Just take the time off, because trust me, if you just take an hour out to go have a bath, go on a walk, or even watch a film, you're going to feel ready to work again after. And if not, that's fine. Perhaps just take the day off, and then you'll feel so much better the day after that, and you can really just push yourself that bit further. Because if you don't take that time off, and I am still victim of this, I still do this, but if you don't, trust me, you end up having to take days off by comparison, because your brain just gets fried and it will not take any of the work in that you've done. So it'll just be a waste of time anyway. So please remember just to look after yourself, and you're going to get so much more done and be so much more productive than if you just keep pushing. And that's it. So thank you for watching. If you have any more tips and advice, please feel free to leave it in the comments down below. And if there's enough, maybe I'll make another video. If not, please just look through the comments and see what other people have to suggest, because we learn from each other at the end of the day. So please enjoy the rest of your holidays and have fun studying as best as you can. Bye!